Oh, somewhere in this favored land the yeses echo throughout the night. The nor'easter does draw near, but still their hearts are alight. And some places people still subscribe to the network, and some give the winner his due. But there is no joy in Philadelphia, for Curtis Axel just got screwed. Welcome once again to the One Player Podcast. Usually joined by KZX, Euron, and Palm. KZ usually leads the charge for these, but his laptop's in really bad shape, and I have to try and stream, but it didn't work out. I know laptops need to be cooled for them to actually keep working to capacity, and streaming takes a lot of. I thought I lost mine for a minute there when I was streaming for a while, on Hitbox, whatever. So it's, and because he does it, I was doing it for a while. I was doing it for weekly. He does his almost every day when he gets a chance to, if he really, really, really needs the donations for things. Because, oh man, you're on egging him on that one stream either. I'm going with the lore that KZ's just rage and sadness just overtook him, and he reached to the Skype call and beat the hell out of Euron, stole some of his Kamen Rider paraphernalia, sold it on eBay, and got him enough money to buy a new heatsink. Let's hope, because a lot of people who donated to the guy, they backed out halfway through, and I don't want to call y'all assholes because I don't know the situation, but yeah. You say you do, and then you don't. It still sounds scummy to me no matter what, but sometimes things happen. I don't know. I like to think people are better than that, but not always the case. But I try to be optimistic. Alright. We start this with what I've played. I'm still going through Orochi 3 Ultimate, getting all the mystic weapons. Which, to get those, you gotta take a certain character, get them to this level, be like, okay, you gotta do this on hard difficulty or higher. There's a whole list of these characters and what you gotta do and what stage you gotta go to. It's beat this number of enemies. It's usually in increments by 100, but it's beat this number 100 enemies in a certain amount of time. Beat these officers in a certain amount of time. More often than not, it's a combination of the two. Beat this guy and however many 100 enemies you need to do to get the thing to show up. It'll show up in the middle. It'll say, treasure has been discovered or something like that. And it's usually it's more often than not, it's usually right in the middle of the level or somewhere around there. But you'll check your log and you can spot exactly where it is. But you gotta look for it. You find a lone treasure chest just sitting out there. You beat on that. Whatever pops up, that's your weapon. Then you gotta go in and finish the stage. With Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, there's almost 100 fucking characters, so that's been taking me a while. I'm only now gotten to I've gotten through all the Dynasty Warrior characters. I'm going through the other characters that were added to the game itself, and after that is all the Samurai Warriors characters. There's 3 pages of those, so I still got my work cut out for me, but when I'm not doing podcasting like this or just talking in general for stuff like this, that's what most of my time's been on, that game. I did survival mode, finally. The dual mode, it's a 3-on-3 kind of thing, and the survival mode, because you gotta get, all the cards that they unlock for that game, too. And, you need at least 50 plus wins to get the trophy, but I think there's more to it than that. What was it, 97 wins? I was closing in on, the 100, and I was like, fuck. So you get super duper hard later on and just wreck your shit. They won't leave you be. They stop sitting there and getting wombo comboed, and they use their cards to get them out of danger. What's the other one? Gauntlet. That's it. That's what's gonna take most of my time to get through as well, because it's a lot of you take 5 characters, you go through this area and get to the exit of this area. The only problem is there's all these little portals. You gotta spend time. You gotta hold L1 down on them and try and is this the way home? Is this the one? No, it just gives you more power. Sometimes they'll usually give you like power-ups for your characters. Like you'll gain more, you'll boost your stats for a limited time. The enemies will disappear. There's also treasures to be gotten from things, something like that, and you don't want to spend too long in there because over time the strength of the enemies and the characters you fight start to build and build. Like it's a miasma level, they call it. Miasma builds over time, and of course my purple, so I immediately think of Inuyasha. When that enemy's getting dark, I'm watching that on Cartoon Network, like, I haven't gotten to watch most of them, but the last time Moroku just ate it super hard. I hope he's okay. No, Moroku, no! Don't kill everybody off. They killed what's her face? The Kagura off, I think that's her name. The Dance of Wind of Blades, or whatever the fuck. Let's say, I want to say Dance of Blades, but that's what's his name? That's Arturo Plateado. Dance of Glimmering Blades, Bleach. Blah, blah, blah. I missed that guy. I want him to come back. I know he came back for the third Dugas game, but it's strategy, and I never thought to look at that. I might change. I don't know. People change. I might check that out sometime if I can find it. You never know. But yeah, that's gonna take me a while. But yeah, you gotta find the exit for that place quick, otherwise the miasma builds and these enemies start getting stronger and stronger. But the stronger they get, the better shit you're gonna get from them, if you can beat them. So, I've been taking like my strongest characters, my Lubu, Tadakatsu. I think I replaced Tadakatsu with Kaiwenji because I need someone fast. Who used to be like really, really amazing on horseback, but they don't let you use horses in Gauntlet mode. You gotta run your ass off, so. But yeah, there's 5 characters, and I take my strongest. I got Lubu, Kaiwenji, Zhao Yu, Sun Wukong, and Orochi X, because all I can do with him is, I haven't built it where I just hit the button and, like, with the triangle button, I'll get, like, all of my Muso back, which makes me invincible during it. His is maxed out super duper hard, so he's just, like, for, like, a good 5-10 seconds of just, like, standing there, he gets, like, Muso, and he's just untouchable. Like, there's a lot of really, really broken characters in that game. Orochi X is one of them, so if you're having trouble with Gauntlet, just get him to, like, level 100, promote the shit out of him every single time so he gets stronger and stronger each time, and you can just, like, beef him up no problem, like 999 across the board, except for, I think, speed, which maxes out at, like, 200, so that's where Orochi X is right now, and everybody else is just, like, level 100 just right off the bat already, and I mostly just keep to Orochi X. If I need to switch, I will pick somebody who's, like, super duper fast, because that's why I got Sun Wukong, because I originally thought he was, like, really, really fast, because he doesn't, like, walk or run, like, when his run animation is him riding on a cloud, you know, like the legend, like Nimbus or whatever. I don't know if they actually call it Nimbus outside of Dragon Ball Z. I'm just spitballing there, but anyway, I'm still doing Merkerker. I got the Sav Maker asterisk, or the alchemist thing, where you take an item and take another item, mix them together, and make something different. So now I have a whole where I gotta mix. There's like a whole subset that's like, oh, this is the compounding menu. You made this item and this item. It makes this item. Now you have information on this item. Here's the other stuff that it used to make this item. So they'll pretty tell you everything's off. I gotta, since I've been making a lot of money in that game now, I have a trick for that. I gotta go back and start buying stuff up and start filling the column up just for completion purposes. They probably do give me something different. But yeah, Sav Master Kada. I know there's a regen thing with that, because that's all he did half that fight. His strategy was like, he'll cast regen on himself and heal himself in the meantime while poisoning you, and his most devastating attack is to take the lack of HP he has. I think that's how it is. It's either like, because it's gotta be like, because the more HP he lost, the stronger it got. But yeah, he'll take like his lack of HP from his total. He'll take that amount and throw it at one of my characters, and he would always keep hitting Tiz, because Tiz is my pirate now, which makes him like the strongest hitter. And I just have like my girls are my red mages still, and Ring a Bell, I'm having a hard time switching out jobs with him, because I want him to keep, pardon me, he's a maxed out thief, but I want to switch other jobs in him, but if I do that, he's not going to be able to steal as well or as much, because I have a thing on him where if, like, now if he steals an item, he steals 2 of it. And he's got a really, really good chance of doing that, like even against like really tough bosses, like you see in the village, like level 99, whatever. So I can steal good shit from them usually, and just haul ass and run away from those fights more often than not. That's how I've been making my money, super duper fast, and that's what I'm gonna do to try and buy more items and fill that up as best I can. But yeah, he regen, which I can get rid of by dispel, and he'd also poison everybody in a while, which I guess I could have prepared myself for as well, because I know the first job class they give you is Freelancer, and that at a certain level will give you a skill called Poison Immunity, and I could just... But yeah, he wasn't too hard. It was just a lot of, like, keeping everybody alive, having one of my red mages revive Tiz, and have the other one heal him to put him back at fighting strength so we could start hitting again. Especially now that he's way, way up there, and he can do double damage on hits, on a hit, which... It costs a lot of MP to use, but man, once he gets that done, I just turn on Berserk and let him swing away, or just swing away on my own or whatever if I need to. But yeah. Speaking of Norinde, I got the levels for them shops up to like max level 11. I was able to buy like interesting outfits. They don't really do anything. They just change how they look. Like, I got one for Tiz, which makes him look like the Onion Knight. Agnes looks, I don't know, I'm not 100%. I think it's supposed to be, forget what they call it, but she looks like fucking lightning, basically. I think that's what it is. I think it's what they're going with, just because they're trying to shove her down our throats. Which speaking of shoving down our throats, I'll get to that later. But yeah. They're mostly for effect, but I like my Pirate Tiz and my Red Rose Agnes. They look so much cooler that way, so as soon as I got them, I took them off. I don't know if they even count them for credit, but I'll get them. Ooh. Most recent thing I picked up on one of the stores is it cost me like 500,000 PEG. That's the currency, which is GP backwards, I'm assuming, is why they call it that. Why they did that, I don't know, but I'm assuming the origins of that is it's just GP backwards, so I just call it PEG. Like I heard it a couple times in the game, they call it PEG. But it cost 500,000. It I forget what it's called. It's like a golden egg, I think is called, or something like that. Something along those lines. But it like doubles your job points and XP gained, but you don't get any money out of it if you have it equipped. And I'm wondering, can I stack this with 4 characters and get it? No, they would each have to wear one, wouldn't they? And then they both get whatchamacallits. I'd have to buy 4 of them and equip them on each of them somehow. Like, probably. I'll figure it out. But anyway, let me get to real quick, a couple things for my section for the gaming news. We saw there was a trailer for Omen, the Herald of Gargos for the new Killer Instinct. We actually got a trailer showing off what he is capable of. He's got starts off with a slide kick that looks like it'll go under projectiles. I saw the trailer. It looks like he's going through a lot of shit with that one. It's probably the move to use for Owen to get in and start doing like crazy combos, because that's what Killer Instinct is known for. It's probably super punishable if you whiff that shit, though. Like, I'm immediately minded of Cinder's little flip kick, which is like has like super duper good priority. But man, if you whiff it, you're fucked. So I'm guessing that's what they're going with for that. I remember him saying Jago was supposed to herald Gargos' return back when Killer Instinct 2 revealed Jago's Tiger Spirit was in fact Gargos, hence his newer look in 3, in the new game now. They didn't call it 3, but anyway. I seen him come in with like some bat wings or devil wings or something like that, but I didn't see it come into actual gameplay, so who knows? Maybe he's got like aerial combos or some shit like that. That'd be kind of cool. I did see him do another thing with lightning hands. He grabs you and then there's like summons lightning down or something like that, and then there's also this like Rose's soul satellite where the projectiles circle around her. He does that, but there's like 3 of them. I assume it's 3 just again because Killer Instinct's all about the combos. And he's the newer character, Golem, at the end. I don't know how big, beefy, slow characters work for Killer Instinct, but maybe he won't be so big, beefy, and slow once he's in there. Who knows? We'll see. I'm interested. He's an attention getter. A lot of these newer characters have been like, The other thing really is Reptile confirmed for Mortal Kombat 10. Usual stuff for him. He's got a couple like a tongue grab at a combo, and where he'll like grab you by the neck with his tongue and just like speed bag you, just throw you to the ground. That's kind of cool. His other thing's this acid attack, like on the ground, kind of like Sub-Zero's Ice Floor. I think that's new. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I played later Mortal Kombat games. Don't know if it's a new thing with him or not. His X-Ray, he breaks like your jaw. He pushes that to the side. He'll stab you through the eyes with his fingers, and then drops you on the floor, stomps on your skull. The fatality teased was him. Pretty basic stuff, just him. Oh, sorry, pardon me, that digestion here. Anyway, his fatality was him acid spitting your face off. So it's all nice and melty, and then it cuts to black so they don't show the whole thing. It sounds like he just crushes it with both hands while your face meat's all melty and your skull's getting brittle and shit. Pat from Super Best Friends is probably gonna pop a stiffy, because Reptile can still be fucking invisible. Personally, I always liked the force ball he had, that little slow-ass moving green projectile. It took him like a bit to set up, but if you caught your opponent with it, yes. I don't know what. I always felt so satisfied when I landed that on somebody. Ever since Mortal Kombat 2, he's had that. It's just been a favorite of mine, personally. I don't know if anybody else really likes it. It's not quite like Scorpion's Get Over Here, but it has like the same effect. Like if it lands, it knocks the opponent forward a little bit and off their feet and like into prime uppercutting position or any combos or whatever. I'm betting it's something like that. Like as it moved on further along, I don't know. It was kind of on and off in Mortal Kombat. Honestly, I don't know that much. But yeah, I just remember the force ball being one of my favorite things with him. Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today. Ooh, it's cold out here every day. Just about. Alright. Now down to the nitty-gritty. The Royal Rumble itself, along with the Raw and Smackdown afterwards. I had a lot of thoughts on my mind, so rather than go off the top of my head or down a list of matches on some site, I'd try and script something together, all my collected thoughts I could put into, so my train of thought doesn't derail. Try and go through all this as quickly as humanly possible. No, so that's why I also waited until now to finish this up. So, I mean, I know that last one was like over an hour. I'm surprised this doesn't turn into like maybe an hour, hour and a half. We'll see. So, when you guys just watch or listen to the podcast, a lot of you were really into my segment. I know you guys watch for other reasons and other people's segments too, but I was really surprised by people wanting more of everything, including mine. I was really afraid like I was gonna drag the podcast on and make it like really long and boring. Thankfully, I only succeeded in the long part of things. So, yes, I'm just wanted to real quick give a shout out and very much deserved thank you to KZX, Euron 131, Sonic Blue Sky, and Gif Pupum for having me. So thank you guys, and thank you for listening. Thank you listening now too, hopefully. Alright, anyway, Royal Rumble, possibly the pay-per-view that people look more forward to than WrestleMania itself. I followed a guy that would do Raw and Smackdown reviews that I'm subscribed to currently by the name of Kronicz from the Most Extreme Wrestling. I'll put a link to his latest video. His last video was him and his wife the Monday after, it was like 8 days after Mania 30, and they were, I know the video for Mania 30 itself, they were there for that. They were happy that Daniel Bryan won the main event, won the belts, but the streak being broken by Lesnar was, I think, like the beginning of the end for them. I think, like the straw that broke the camel's back, and they were like, yeah, this is not as hopeful as I would have been. I guess they got turned off. I haven't seen a video from them since that one from 8 days ago, and again, I'll put it in the description. But I am subscribed to him on Twitter, so to see him again on Twitter talk about the Rumble, I was like, oh man, hey, welcome back, how you been? I was like, yeah, I was gone for a while, but the Rumble, everybody turns out for the Rumble, man. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. And after the Rumble was over, he was like, well, going back to not watching Raw, I'll see you next year, 2016, Dallas, Texas. I know another friend of mine, Vicious, was on Twitter. He said he was done with WWE as well when he saw the Raw where Seth Rollins coerced Cena to bring the Authority back, arguably making the results of Survivor Series ending completely worthless. But I personally, again, I really, really like that segment because that's when I was like, okay, I bought into Rollins, or as Little Karibo calls him, Rollins. I think it's big thanks to Little Karibo, by the way, because I've got one more on the list of ways to pronounce Brock Lesnar's name. That's the number one, Brock Lesnar. Lil Creebo refers to him as Baroque Lesnar. There's the copyright dodging way of saying it, Bork Laser. In Heymanese, it's Brock Lesnar. Or straight from the beast mouth himself. Ah! Just the squawk. It's probably the worst squawk ever. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Brock Lesnar. No way I can do it justice. I apologize. If you've seen it, you know it. But that was terrible. But again, a lot more people were more focused on this than Mania itself to show up to see it, because Mania has become like this celebrity kind of thing, and maybe with kind of downpour. And for the past couple of Manias now, there's always that one match that goes on for like 10 seconds maybe, or something like that. Like the Chavo and Kane match for the ECW title. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Pardon me. Whew. Anyway, the pre-show, I didn't see this because I don't have the network, but I really like the team of Cesaro and Kid, because it's two guys that are known for just being really great wrestlers that don't get very much time on air otherwise, and don't get any mic time at all. They're with the Rosebuds and Adam Rose, which makes Adam Rose more of a hanger-on than Natalya, and she's Tyson's wife. They go over the New Day in the pre-show. First match of the actual Rumble itself... second tag match overall. It was the Ascension going over a not jobber tag team this time. They actually fought, they got called out by a few legendary tag teams back on Raw, and the ones that they were facing are, for the pay-per-view, or the New Age Outlaws, because, the other one was, because JBL was the first one to get on them, and then Farouk came out for, APA. And I know they weren't doing that because Farouk's not wrestling anymore, and JBL would have probably said no to putting these two over. I assume they worked really well on NXT, the Ascension, what they had going for them over there, but this whole Road Warriors Demolition thing they got going on now, their finisher's kind of cool. The Fall of Man, they call it. It's like one goes for a clothesline, the other goes for like a clothesline, but it's like a chop block, kind of like they go for the feet ankle kind of thing to like trip him up, as the other ones hit you like chop block from behind, and the clothesline's coming in from the front, so it's like a... I've been calling it like the total elimination, but with like clotheslines instead of like legs or something like that, so... Total elimination. Thanks, OSW Reviews. I do really like the basic heel thing they're going for, like, you know, like, we're the best tag team ever, fuck everybody else, pretty much. Because it's basic, it's simple, people are gonna watch their matches if only to see them get their asses handed to them finally. So we're just really hoping like one day that one team's gonna come in and shut them up. So, but after that match, the opening, there's a segment with Triple H and Stephanie talking about how Sting got into the building on the Raw before the Rumble. Triple H is like, you know, I've had like 10 people come up to me telling me Nikolai Volkov's here. So wait, there wasn't a segment with Rusev for that? All right. Heyman walks in, says, you know, you got a problem with Sting. Brock Lesnar's your solution to that. As he's been to all your other problems, like Cena and everything else, you know. He's not wrong. Okay. Second match on the Rumble itself. Third tag match of the night. Where the Usos beat the Miz's again. I hope this is the last match for these teams. I they could move on. I thought the last thing was like that Naomi angle where she was getting scouted by the Miz, and he wanted her to get in touch with her agent and be like this big megastar or whatever on her own, but her husband kept getting involved because it looked like Miz was trying to play her or play them to trying to get their tag team titles or whatever. And it turned out Naomi and the Usos were playing them back all along. That was actually really good. I actually like that. That should have been like the end-off point. That was a logical way to end that feud, I think. They wasted it because it was on free TV instead of the pay-per-view that they had before this one, which is where they fought again. That's where I thought the feud would end. But because WWE barely has any tag teams worth watching, or any tag teams, you know, that much in general, you know, They kind of had to go back to the well on this one. Then again, they had a couple people leave or something like that, but still. Joey Mercury is backstage playing WWE Immortals, and by playing Joey is just moving his finger over the screen over and over again, getting the same move to come out. Pardon me. Congestion here. Sorry about that. But anyway, snaps back in, they snap him to the rally and says, you know what, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing about the future, because I'm the right now. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. Fourth tag match of the night. The Bella Twins showcasing strong heel tag team tactics where they essentially, for most of the match, proverbially cut the ring in half, keep one of the members of the other tag team cordoned off, and just boot on her. Paige has a little offense at the very beginning, but that's it for her when she tags in Natalya. Natalya just destroyed by the Bellas. Like, wow. The Bellas. They're the threat of the Divas division. Well, again, I guess it's like the Ascension people will want to see them get booed up, those who actually care about the Divas division, you know, because they're heels and they're just terrible actors, and they just want people to beat the shit out of them. But they're getting over as like a heel team, kind of, because they're doing the 2-on-1 kind of strategy. They did that on SmackDown against Paige, because she got a title match out of this somehow, I guess. Yeah. And, of course, you know, they're going for the, I don't want to say the gold, because it's not gold. It's more like purple-pink thing. By that logic, I should refer to the tag belts as the bronze. Or the shiny pennies, because that's what they look like to me. They're like little Roman, figurines with, like, the whatchamacallits on, like the helmets. I think you would get more over if you wore giant, oversized heads of bronzed Abraham Lincoln heads on there. It might get you a little bit more over. I don't know. America, you know? Maybe in some places of America it would probably be a detriment. Calling you out. Alright, Rumble vignette time. Roman says he's winning. Dusty Butts cuts a weird promo, as they are known to do. Or at least Stardust is. Stardust is kind of like out-weirding Goldust, and Goldust is just like, dude, seriously? In some cases. Rusev's looking forward to crushing whoever the world champ is. Miz and Miz now go back and forth like, you know, I've become like the most watchable WWE superstar in history, and Santos like, he's become the most watchable superstar in WWE history. And finally it culminates to Miz going, I'm gonna go to WrestleMania, and Santos like, I'm going to WrestleMania. Dissension? And Miz is like, wait, what the fuck? What'd you say? He's like, you're going to WrestleMania? And like, I'm going to WrestleMania. Like, you going to WrestleMania. And Miz is like, yeah, that's what I thought you said. Show says Lesnar, Big Show says Lesnar tried to make him look mortal, because that's what he's always done and everybody else has been in the ring with. What made you look mortal is the fucking New Year, baby. First of all, you didn't need Lesnar's help for that shit. But yeah, Lesnar's always making dudes look mortal. For better or worse. Streak. So, now Show's motivated to win. Fandango. Daniel Bryan says he's left out of last year's Rumble. Fought all his way to Mania 30. And Yes Chance breaks out Yes Chance when he asks himself, you know, can he do it all over again this year? Not a tag team match, but a triple threat and the bar setter for match of the year. Cena busting out the Michinoku driver, Lesnar suplexing the bejesus out of anything that fucking moves. He's like, I'm gonna suplex Cena, I'm gonna suplex Lesnar, I'm gonna take J&J Security, one in each hand, just wah! And they were pretty much gone for the remainder of that, for like 90% of that match. I thought was like, holy shit, did he kill those guys? They better be selling. I was like, actually, like, legitimately concerned a little bit. Like, I was starting to get like I was getting a little quiet over there. I was like, oh, are they okay? Did they hit the... Because they suplexed them out to the floor, like, out of the ring and shit. Like, they were gone for a while, so it did really go to, like, a triple threat match, so... Rollins did kind of have to go on his own and step things up, which he did. He did, you know, there's no problem with that. Rollins had kind of a game plan going into this one. He curb stomps Lesnar twice, hits him with the Phoenix Splash, elbow to him on the outside, breaking his rib as Cole put over, and then they keep putting it over on Raw and SmackDown. So yeah. Then it breaks down to Cena Rollins for the title as Lesnar's about to be stretchered out. Lesnar just roars back in, damn near kills Rollins with a suplex because he takes it on his like head and neck instead of like the upper back like Cena seems to do it. Like he kind of, there's like a way to take it, and there's like a more, there's a way to take that, and there's a dangerous way not to take that. That's what I'm saying. And Rollins just kept Rollins was just like all head and neck. I'm like, oh my, not look good. Match ends when Rollins hits Lesnar twice with his briefcase, and he's about to curb stomp him on the briefcase to finish him off. Lesnar again gets up, F5s him, and retains the title. But yeah, tremendous display from all three of these guys. Even Cena, who, whenever they back him into a real rough corner like that, he'll bust out moves you normally don't get from him. And even the Philadelphia crowd, who were normally like super smarky, and when Cena first came out, I heard probably the loudest, most audible John Cena sucks, like to his theme music, like that, and they'll sing like John Cena sucks, John Cena sucks, like the loudest I think I've ever heard since the legendary Post-Mania crowd in Jersey. And Post-Mania Raws are also always something to look forward to because they help set the tone as much as Mania itself does, and the crowds have for a couple of years now have been like that very smarky, like proactive crowd. But yeah, they were snarky and they hate Cena, but when Cena bust out that driver, they were in. They were like, oh dude, they actually got behind him, man. There's another spot in that match, but yeah, he takes J&J Security, suplexes both of them out of the ring. That Phoenix Splash is amazing, too. Alright. Okay. Now, I said on Twitter, I'm a firm believer that the Rumble match should always be last on the card, especially now considering they've united the WWE and World title, so there's one champion again. Looking back, that triple threat might have actually saved this pay-per-view and might have kept more people from unsubscribing to the network, because that was the big trending topic on Twitter for that Monday was, later Sunday night into Monday was like, hashtag cancel WWE Network. There were reports that the site itself where you unsub to the network completely crashed due to just how much amount of traffic it was for that area. It just crashed the site. Because everybody was pissed that Daniel Bryan didn't win and Roman did. Like, Roman was getting pretty much fed here. Looking back on that, Daniel Bryan got, like, one retirement scare promo and a thing where he was, like, the GM for a while almost every week WWE was updating us on Roman Reigns and how well he was doing and him going through the hernia surgery. I forget it completely. I think it was something hernia. It was like herniated discs or just hernia in general or something like that. I do remember hernia coming up, so I wasn't sure exactly what. But he's getting like via satellite promos like almost every week. It was like fucking Orton's Randy News Network, just not as funny as Hype because they're not making Roman heel. Nor should they. I think they ruined him with that, just like they did with Batista. Which they got away with last year because he wasn't going to be there for that long anyway, probably because he did the movie thing. They could get away with that because he was like that guy from Hollywood or whatever, and Daniel Bryan, the circumstance was not being in the Rumble at all, as opposed to here where he just kind of goes in and just gets tossed over by, I'll get to that in a moment. I still feel bad for Batista because he never got that one-on-one with Orton. Mostly probably because they would have booed that match out of the building anyway, so WWE was kind of, their hands were kind of forced to add him into that match, and actually, otherwise WrestleMania, the main event was just gonna tank. They're kind of in danger of doing that again. That's why on Raw, I was watching them interviews like a fucking hawk, and I'll get to that. But yeah, they should not turn Roman heel, mostly because I can get behind Roman going over Lesnar at WrestleMania, and a couple people on SmackDown maybe kind of do that because it was kind of a mixed reaction when he came out for his thing. Roman's believable as opposed to Daniel Bryan, who, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for saying this, but Daniel Bryan is not believable as a threat to Lesnar's reign as champion for me. It actually sounds irresponsible to actually put him in that match. You know, like, trying to paint you a scenario here. Like, you're talking about, like, WWE, like, the network guys and, like, the lawyer guys and the guys looking up on concussions and everything, the doctors there, and someone comes up like, yo, let's get the guy fresh off of near career-ending neck surgery, put him in a match with a Category 5 storm of suplexes and F5s in the ring and see if his doesn't come out of that and fucking retire the next day. Brock Lesnar is not there to make you look good. I don't think he'd make Roman look good. People may just be watching that match just to see him suplex the shit out of Roman. You know, there could be that thing too. That's why. Like, I immediately thought back to that triple threat match where Rollins was just getting dropped on his head and neck because he was selling the suplex in a more dangerous way of doing that. He kind of overshot a little bit. Like, you're supposed to take it like the upper back or whatever because it's a little safer because there's more give to that maybe when you're taking on your upper back shoulder kind of thing. Like Cena was doing it. I think that's a safe way of doing it. It can't be good for head and neck at all. Especially Daniel Bryan. Like, if Daniel Bryan took it like that, he could hurt him permanent. And I don't want that for him. As great and hype as Daniel Bryan versus Lesnar sounds, WWE probably looked at that and was like, no, not for you, no. I like to think that I did that anyway. They could be just overlooking him again. Which is the more likely. Again, this is me thinking positive. Then again, they're probably too busy making Roman look strong. Speaking of strong, Rumble always seems to have one guy that comes in and dominates the early portion and becomes like the monster of the Rumble, which belonged to Bray Wyatt at the very beginning, who really desperately needed something like this going for him, because all of Bray's wins at like pay-per-views and such were always due to some chance or freak accident or outside interference. He beats Kane in his debut match with an asbestos blanket and his two henchmen for a what was it? An Inferno match. I said Human Torch, but it's not even. He beats Cena, distracting him with a. This was after him jobbing him to him at WrestleMania after that awesome performance. But he beat Cena in a cage or Hell in the Cell match or whatever it was. I think it was Hell in the Cell because that's like that pay-per-view. But he beats him, distracting him with a child with a distorted voice and shitty lip syncing. He beats Dean Ambrose in a pay-per-view because Ambrose goes to hit him with a TV and he electrocutes himself. Then not Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt takes the advantage. He hits him with the Sister Abigail and that's it. He did so again in an ambulance match on free television. Russo! And then very next SmackDown, Ambrose is back tagging with Reigns. I'm like, what the fuck? So Bray's stock was like way, way down since WrestleMania 30. Like he was just like even his promos were just like, he's just talking about shit. Didn't do anything impressive. Or if he does, it's always some sort of bullshit. So this was very welcome sight to see Bray Wyatt just tossing dudes over. One of the few people in this match that I thought actually did look kind of strong and look relevant. Maybe because, again, even that was kind of unimpressive. Like the Kofi spot itself was unimpressive. Like Adam Rose comes out. Like Kofi gets because every year Kofi does this thing where he escapes elimination once and then gets eliminated again later. Anyway, this one was Adam Rose comes out with the Rosebuds. Kofi gets thrown over the top rope. The Rosebuds catch him, body surf him back, carry him back into the ring, only for Adam Rose to get eliminated. And the Rosebuds are nowhere near him. He gets eliminated like on the other side of the ring, and he's just like drops to the floor. And Adam Rose's like, "Where the fuck were you guys? I'd be pissed too." And it's probably like a thing where he could do like, "I'm paying for you fuckers." I hope this is a thing where he becomes like that Leo Kruger guy again, because some of his promos were just like really, because he was like this really batshit insane hunter here, like Can't wait to meet all of you. I guess he can't. I guess you can't make ta-da very like intimidating. I bet you Brock Lesnar would just like ta-da. Like no, well, except Brock would just be like ta-da. He'd just be like very unenthused. After he suplexes somebody, some people, he's just like ta-da. Unimpressed Brock Lesnar is probably the one they should have gone for that finish of the Rumble. But there was another good one too, which I'll get to. But yeah. Again, the only really thing that good to come out of this match was making Bray look strong, because the guys, all of which who were getting dumped on by the Authority, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, they were all getting dumped on by the Authority. They had to fight on SmackDown before the Rumble just to qualify and get in the match itself. All three of those guys pretty much crumbled up, tossed aside like they were nothing at all, and a lot of this roster was pretty much crumbled up and tossed aside like they were nothing at all. It really made a kind of thinned out roster, what with no Los Matadors, which no one were really giving a shit about anyway. And with Justin Gabriel quitting, he left, I think a couple days before. So it really made that thinner roster seem even thinner. It just felt like the Roman Reigns Rumble and fuck everybody else. I personally would have split the crowd apart and make the final four of that Rumble Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, Reigns, Ambrose. Split the crowd apart, make them choose. I'll try to, I guess maybe some people would have been like, damn, Ambrose, Bryan, like, who do we cheer for? Who to cheer for? But yeah, the final four instead was Kane, Big Show, Reigns, Ambrose. Ambrose getting double teamed by Show and Kane, who then those two proceed to fight over each other for the spot until they just get dumped over the top rope. And then those two were like, well, we just got eliminated. Well, fuck it, we're just gonna beat his ass now. They go in to beat up Reigns after the match, and then The Rock runs out, helps fight them off. By the way, the bell hasn't rung yet, so we get to see later on Rusev, who I think he got beat on the outside, but I didn't see who it was. Like, he somehow got on the outside again. I was just like, I guess I was just like talking about Daniel Bryan. I was just being like, ugh. Everybody else getting thrown over. I was just like, ugh. Like, man, even the early Rumble was unimpressive. It was just like The Miz and R-Truth. It was like, yay, the awesome truth. I was probably the only one who was like, yay, the awesome truth. For those who remember that tag team. Oh, man. But yeah, he was never eliminated. He finally like comes to. I'm like, the bell hasn't rung. Like, what the fuck's going on? But I'm like, and then they're just like, oh shit, Rusev, he was never eliminated. He comes in and he gets pitched over too. So yeah, Rusev. So yeah, these are final two. Rusev, who did impressive last year's Rumble. Roman, who also did impressive last year's Rumble. They were the final two this year. So it's kind of cool to see that. Kind of telling. The Rock, again, at the end, holding his cousin Roman. You want to go wrestling? You go to a rumbling. Yes. It's nice. Yes. It's good. You borrow my taxi cab. Went through, like, MacGuffin of accents there. Oh, man. Rock's facial expression went through all 5 stages of grief in a matter of seconds. It was beautiful. Like, he and Roman are just, like, he's holding up Roman's hand, and he's like pointing him to us, like, yeah, Roman, and then he hears the boos, and it's like, what? The Rock's just like denial, anger, fear, bargaining, and acceptance in like a matter of like 5 seconds. Mr. Johnson, your progress astounds me. Your cousin's another story. Other things to note, like I said at the beginning, Curtis Axel getting screwed by Eric Rowan, who was the only one that failed to qualify anyway. So business it is of yours to, even if they are the rest of the Wyatt family at the time. So fuck Eric Rowan. Good team music, but that's all I can really say about you now. I know there was that petition. I got over too. Like, there was a Change.com petition to get like. Curtis Axel never was in the Rumble, and Roman went to the outside like after the matches and to have left the ring, so his feet would have touched the floor by then. So really Curtis Axel won, so that's what they were doing there. Curtis Axel, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Who besides me would be hyped to see that? Just because Curtis Axel's one of my boys now. Like, those guys who have no chance of getting over, but I still like seeing. Like, OSW reviews do their thing where that's like, we got like 5 boys, guys who never get over, and that made me think, like, who are my 5? Curtis Axel's one. Paul London. I really liked him and Brian Kendrick. I don't know Brian Kendrick too. I was like Paul London more. I thought he was kind of like he was like the cooler guy of both teams, I think, for like him and Brian Kendrick, and when he was with Billy Kidman. What's his name? David Otunga's another good one. So I got Curtis Axel, Otunga. Shit. Well, my train's derailing again, so I'll just write it down in some. I'll just fix that in post and just write it down somewhere in like an annotation or something at who my 5 are. I know Steve Blackman's in there. I kept like flip-flopping on who my 5th was. But anyway. Bully Ray regressed to Bubba Ray Dudley, size and all from the looks of things. I really hope it was just the tight camo that made him look fat, because Bully Ray was one of the best things, one of the only good things about that fucking 2010 Immortal Stable Hogan Bischoff era where TNA was heading south, and heading south fast. Bully Ray just emerged as this amazing heel who even guys like me who like heels just because they stir the pot and keep shit interesting. Even I was like, wow, fuck this guy. He's an asshole. That one reenactment I did where he's just literally pulling SoCal Val and just makes her like legitimately cry. I think like that was like a Jake the Snake sociopath levels of heel promo. Like when Jake the Snake would slap Elizabeth, even Undertaker's looking at him like it's like fuck you. Like people wish death on that guy. Shit. TNA thankfully kind of like put some threw some dirt on the gas fire, so to speak, put him for a while with Scott Steiner doing one of the funnier promos with him. Some of the funniest shit I've seen on TNA. So I was hoping he's getting more to do in the WWE, but I think he's only doing that one spot. So wait and see. If they get him back, they'll want Duvon too, who wasn't there. I don't know if he's like he wasn't on TNA for a while either, so I don't know if he's retired or what. It's kind of on again, off again. They might do a couple appearances, but I think Devon's pretty much done. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know. Just because I haven't seen him in as much as the other one on TNA, so I don't know. Maybe he's just holding down the fort at their training facility. Could be that. Also, we had DDP diamond cutting motherfuckers left and right. He drew that much feared and dreaded number 14 spot, but I'm confident if he can sober up Jake Roberts and Scott Hall, I got a feeling maybe he's the one that finally breaks the curse of the dreaded number 14 Rumble spot. Okay, well, on to Raw is canceled because the Northeaster just pretty much sacked the entire East Coast pretty much. Hit, like, I got it, like, just a couple of feet of snow, but Hartford got hit, like, super duper bad. Like, so bad the mayor was like, travel plans? Yeah, no. So Raw had to be held WWHQ in Stamford, Connecticut. So it was just so most of the matches for that were just recaps of last night's Rumble, the triple threat, which was awesome, and the Rumble, which was controversial as they would call it, even though he like won clean or whatever. Like, yeah, The Rock's help, but we all thought that was like the end of the match. We didn't even know. Like, I thought the bell rang, but I'm like, was there no belt? I was thinking like, there's no bell to ring. But no. Okay. Seth Rollins gets like the first interview off this. It's like he's saying like, I thought for sure I dealt with Lesnar. I had a game plan going in, take him out, make it one-on-one with Cena, but he got up and finished the match, man. Like, I admit I underestimated Lesnar, but by that same token, he may have underestimated me, because Plan B, his Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, I ain't got the belt, but I know a quicker way to get to it if I need to execute it. he's in there with Michael Cole. He says he's going to interview Lesnar next, and Rollins is like, oh, yeah? Really? Well, okay. He wants to, he wants his airtime. He's going to take me off this seat, like, which culminates in Lesnar asking for a seat. And Rollins like, hey, man, hey, how you doing? I'm going to dust this off for you, and he just kicks it over before leaving the set. More like salty Rollins. That's not clever. Salt metal. It's a work. Alright, but Cole brings up the Lesnar interviews next. Cole brings up the broken rib. Lesnar's like, yep, yeah. But I've suffered other injuries before and powered through. Tonight was no different. So I'm like, wow. This would be a really, really interesting double turn almost. Like, if I don't think you should do Roman as heel, but if you do, Brock could get over his face kind of, just because he gets up and people want to see him do the things the Roman and whatever, and he was down, but he persevered and won the match. Like, impressive. Stranger things have happened. We fucking Swagger turned face. That was because Cesaro became a Paul Heyman guy. Never say never. Cole mentions if they're at odds with the Authority. Heyman's like, no, he's their biggest attraction and problem solver for the Authority. We exploit them as much as they exploit us. It's mutual. It's it's business. And Cole brings up the video package of Lesnar beating the streak and asks how Lesnar overcame Taker's intimidation. And Lesnar's just like, same way I always overcome any odds. I don't respect anybody. And while I'm happy for Roman win, he better be up to the task, because I'm on a roll. I'm like a steamroller. Brock squad. Instead of it's just just Brock standing over the fucking Roman. I was good at that kind of shit. I'd actually put that do a graphic of that, but again, I'm going through this as quickly as possible. I just kind of pressed for time, but if anyone wants to make that, I won't certainly won't stop you. That'd be great. Just fucking put Brock Lesnar's face over Dio doing the dropping the steamroller on Roman Reigns, and at the end, it's just made myself hype for that one. See, I could spin this and make this a better pay-per-view now. See, you want to see it now? The steamroller match. Yeah. All right. He's got momentum on his side. Is the point? Is what he's trying to make, and he's looking forward to meeting Reigns. He's like, hey, looking forward to Mania, man. Another 10 suplexes and beat the shit out of him. Speaking of Reigns, Byron Saxton, who currently is the insufferable heel commentator on SmackDown since moving to Thursdays, I was kind of on the fence with him for a while, but I'm like, he borderline kind of, not really. Might take him a couple more weeks to get used to. Like I say about TV shows, and I might have brought this up on stream earlier, not either a stream or podcast earlier, but you have till 5 to get me impressed, get me involved with anything or whatever for a new whatever, a TV show or whatever. If you don't if I'm not into it in 5 episodes, I'm like, nope. But yeah, Byron Saxton interviewing the Rumble winner himself. Saxton brings up the crowd reaction at the Rumble. Reigns is like, well, I was hoping for a warmer reception. I learned long ago life's not always fair. The crowd paid their money so they can cheer or boo whoever they want. Saxton brings up some critics say the higher-ups handpicked them. So we're getting actual really truthful promos out of this. I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. I was thinking this night was not a total wash. I'm like, oh, okay. I was kind of half and half. Someone else was streaming at the time. Dino Winwood. He does the best name impression ever. But yeah, I was doing that, but I would always keep the TV on in the background. And I was looking from time to time, and I was like, okay, someone's talking now. I'm like, all right, let me give a listen. Let me see what he's got to say. But yeah, Rowan's just like, the higher-ups handpicked me. If it's true, thanks, they're in order for them. But I still saw an opportunity, and I took it. I'm looking forward to facing Lesnar at Mania. I'm looking forward to meeting Lesnar tonight. Quick recap segment of the Royal Rumble Fallout after the triple threat where Cena's like talking to Tom Phillips backstage. He's kind of like disappointed that he lost, and then Rusev gets on his face, starts speaking in Russian or something like that. Like shoves him down, and they get in each other's face. So that's all we need for them to face off Rusev and Cena at the next pay-per-view, Fastlane. So farewell to the Elimination Chamber. I'll miss you, unbreakable plexiglass window, most of all. Fastlane. Seriously? I know you're trying to play off the whole road to WrestleMania thing. I think that's clever and all, but you can do better than that. Why not call it Roadblock? Then you actually have like it in your house, like Roadhouse or Roadblock. Yeah, Roadhouse. I think it should be called Collision Course, because you people keep bringing that up, and like we're on a, like JBL's like almost every week on commentary. It's like, we're on a collision course, Michael. No, you've said it so many times it's recognizable in the WWE lexicon, so why not use it for your fucking pay-per-view? Collision Course! No, it's Fastlane. Fail! Come on! Renee Young with her short hair getting a little better each week. Maybe I'm just getting more used to that. But anyway, she sits down. Man, I would have put her on commentary, because I've seen her on the JBL and Cole show a couple of times, and I think she's cute as a button. Yeah. But she's sitting down with Daniel Bryan, acknowledging the fans. Like, Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, acknowledging the fans being disappointed Reigns won. I did fail saying I had the same opportunity Reigns did, but he took it. I didn't. Then again, I never had higher ups or The Rock to back me up. So I don't doubt Reigns will put on a good match. And he finally brings up his casket match with Kane on Thursday, saying, I gotta end this feud, man. And you can pretty much copy-paste what most fans have been saying about Roman and Reigns and Daniel Bryan's feud with Kane for the past few months now. They said Roman was being fed lines on his interview earlier. If he is, please use those writers to write his shit, and not the ones that had him saying fucking suffer and succotash, because the last fucking thing we need, if you're going to get this guy over, is another jokey John Cena style of promo with this. You did it with Sheamus. You did it with Sheamus and made us turn on the guy. And we liked Sheamus once upon a time. We liked Roman too. Last year's Rumble, we were like, fucking Roman Reigns was awesome. The 13, was 12 eliminations. I almost said 13 because I want to say 13. I want to say it's like an unlucky number or something like that. But what I'm saying is just let these dudes come up with their own shit, or at least some fucking new writers would probably fix a lot of your fucking problems. More problems than you have with just Roman currently, It's like, just people who know what the fuck they're doing. And people actually like, well, you got a game plan, but you also got your fan viewers to think about too. Yeah, sometimes you're damned if you do, but damned if you don't. But I don't know. Don't want to get too into that. Otherwise, it'll take off for even longer. But anyway, the final interview of the night with Roman and Brock face to face. Heyman's shoes Cole out of the interview, pretty much hijacks the sumbitch. It brings up, hey, I've been around this business a long time, Roman. This is Heyman saying this. I know your family more than you do. Like, hell, I remember 2002, your cousin, The Rock, was dominating until Lesnar beat his ass and beat him to become champion for the first time in his career. Rock never asked for a rematch because one match was it for Rock. That was it for Rock. He didn't want number two. And Heyman's like, I don't understand why you don't talk about that. Why doesn't he warn you about what what the fuck you're up against at WrestleMania, because Lesnar's gonna fucking kill you, man. Reigns, how are you gonna handle disappointing your family when you lose? And Reigns is like, quietly like looks over at Heyman, but he adjusts his suit and addresses Lesnar face to face. He's like, I'll talk to you, your monster face to face. I know what I've signed up for. I'm gonna take the title or a piece of Lesnar down with you. I'm gonna take a piece of you with me. They both get up in their seats, go face to face, and Lesnar's like, unlike Heyman, I don't respect you. And Roman fires back, but you will. On to live Thursday night damage control, as I like to call it. Triple H opens up saying, it's been a very controversial week, brings up Deflategate, which I don't watch a lot of NFL, but I looked it up, and apparently the Patriots may have used deflated footballs to help them win their AFC Championship game or something along those lines. He said, Triple H goes on to say, apparently Roger Goodall, who to me is a total piece of shit, by the way, if Triple H ever wanted to go face, shitting on Goodell's a hell of a way to start for me. Triple H says the NFL has a problem with balls in that regard. Something we don't have, and unlike Goodell, when I'm faced with a problem, I handle it. And he brings up his confrontation, not a match, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be WrestleMania, but confrontation with Sting at Fastlane. He goes on to say the triple threat match was amazing. Rollins proved himself to be the future. Lesnar proved himself to be the beast. Cena proved himself to be, the past. He finally addresses Roman winning, says, Monday I'm ending this controversy and I'm going to make an announcement to shake things up again. What someone on Twitter said he's open for the WWE draft. I would not say no to that. But with their roster, I doubt that. But hey, you want to do exclusive, get people over again, split the titles all over again? That kind of makes things pointless. But I was one of those guys who was initially not all too pleased with the whole brand split, because I'm like, what happens now? But no, it turned out to be really, really good for a lot of people. Like, it helped Edge get over, helped Cena get over, helped a lot of guys who wouldn't normally get over. I think as we can see now, we kind of might need that again here. Well, it seems like we're kind of doing that, like Cena's being phased out, maybe. Well, maybe. Strong maybe, because man. But yeah, he's Roman's music hits. He says, I don't see no controversy. I won that shit. And Triple H is like, yeah, you did win that match. Let's see you win this one. And Big Show comes out, so they're gonna have a match, and Roman Reigns looking strong against him, to mixed reactions. Fears of him being the next Cena may yet be realized. As long as he doesn't do the promo shit, we kind of they really need, again, damage control. They really need to steer him away from that shit, steer him away from any comparisons you can make with John Cena. Just let him be the Samoan motherfucker that just punches people in the face. Actually, he'd probably be really good in a Road Roller match too. He'd be like, oh, doesn't quite but Vince live via satellite saying, again, more damage control, saying the network, hey, it's free for the month of February. I forgot to mention on Raw, but they announced, Adolf Schwarzenegger, the Hall of Fame. Yes, it was great, it was fantastic. Everybody remembers back in 1999 where I beat the shit out of Triple H. I hit him he smacked him in the face. He tried to push it on me. You don't fuck with me. You can see me on the movie End of Days. With that chick from The Craft. It's kind of cute. But the short hair. Oh, man. Sorry. Once I go, I can't stop with that. I just really like doing that voice. I've been doing it since... as long as I can remember, I've been doing that sorts of niggas. It sounds really like this. It's really better. I should do a whole promo like this, Hulk Hogan with coming for you. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. It's great. Believe in the Shield. Believe in the Schwarzenegger. Anyway, Roland's on the mic now. Save me. Come back soon, guys. I can't do this on my own. Because then this happens. I don't know if anyone likes it or not. Anyway, Roland's on the mic with J&J Security saying how he was close to becoming the new champ. And I did weaken Lesnar. You know, he again bringing up the broken rib. We're keeping that going. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. So, Lesnar he does have a weakness going in, which, again, believability that he might lose that title because of that. He's injured. There's a target painted on him. It makes him, he's vulnerable now. Okay, so, again, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good match, like a D-Bryan Brock Lesnar, but you gotta make it, the believability was my problem. But anyway, he's saying how he was close to being the champion. He's like, you know what? I proved myself I'm the future. I'll do so again here tonight. I'm issuing an open challenge to anybody in the back. Which Ryback accepts and ends up getting him pummeled 3-1 because him and J&J Security. Eric Rowan and Ziggler come out next. And, well, I know you all got screwed by the Authority, but you really don't have to, hang out together anymore. I don't know why you're still doing that, but, the enemy of my enemy, I guess, as the saying goes. And it looks like they've left J&J Security for death, for being pummeled by these three guys, but Rollins makes the save. He saves those guys. Not a heel thing to do. In fact, I thought it was very admirable of Seth to do that, if I can say, kind of go out on a limb and say that. I really want Seth and Lesnar at Mania now. People can at least get behind Seth Rollins. Seth is actually, his push was actually believable. He did the higher-ups things with the Authority, but, we've seen he can talk. We've seen he can, he is good on the mic. He is good in the ring. He's that everyday man that they need. He's that top heel that they need, and it's, he's better than fucking, what's his name? Randy Orton, for sure. Ugh. Randy Orton's like a flat line. Yeah. I'm saying, we know he's earned it, is what I'm saying. Anyway. But yeah, it does look like Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are going to be that next team the Usos feud with for the next couple months, like the Miz's and the Dusty Butts before them. Tyson Kidd with a win on television! Woo! The kid who dreamed has come true. And he goes over Jey Uso. So I think he's still favoring a knee injury or something like that. I know one of them is just like a knee pad, like an extra knee pad or a brace or something like that. Not really braced, but maybe it's on the inside. But yeah, one of them was favoring their knee, and I saw that in this match. Next segment with Rusev talking about how I should have won. I should be facing Lesnar for the title at Mania. Another match, I think people would rather say champion versus champion. Rusev says, I've been giving him. They're really putting over Cena as he's kind of being phased out again. I think that's why I bring it up, because this is the second time they said a man of the past. First Triple H, now Rusev is saying it. They've given me a man of the past. He's got no hunger or desire. He's not the superstar I am. And Cena, shuts him up, tells him you're gonna need a lesson in respect. You've crushed everything in your path, but now you're dealing, quote, with the face who runs the place. Okay. He didn't say it like I did. He was really intimidating, kind of. When Cena gets serious, he drops the jokey bullshit and cuts promos super serious like he is. He's actually tolerable when he's talking. So I'm actually hyped for this match, but will more likely be unhyped over the likely finish. Lol, Cena wins. Paige versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title announced for Fastlane. She gets 2-on-1 an interview with the Bellas interrupt, and they 2-on-1 her and beat her down, and they make fun of the color of her skin or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's kind of mean. She's probably the only other person in wrestling that's, besides Sheamus, that's whiter than I am. She still lost her match, so why is she getting a title match because fuck it, moving on. The Ascension go over another tag team, but it's not that super clean, unarguable finish they had with the Outlaws at the Rumble, because they go over the Dusty Butts team in this case. Goldust looked like he had things under control till Stardust comes from behind, he like tags him on the back, like blind tags in, and he eats the finish. So there's dissension? You gotta break up one of them. You can't keep both of them. Personally, I hope they do both of them at the same time at WrestleMania, and then, like, Cody's looking at, what's his name, they're two are having a match, the Dusty Butts and the Miz's, like, they're having a match, and it goes down to, Mizdow and, Stardust, and they're looking at each other, like, and both of them, like, almost simultaneously, like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, Stardust, like, the fuck happened to you? And Sandow's like, me? The fuck happened to you? You're pinning up Frank Gorshin looking motherfucker. And they both look at the other tag team partners and they boot the shit out of them, so it's like a double disqualification, and then they leave us the Road Scholars. That's me thinking, wishful thinking. But I would be so fucking hyped for that if they just let bygones be bygones. Like, we can't let that split us up again, man. You know, both of us hit kind of like in a weird place right now, like hard. Like they both like come to an agreement. They're like, all right, we got to look out for each other, man. If we're gonna survive. But yeah, all right. Anyway, the main event. Kane's been hyping it throughout every single vignette, talking about like the casket. You know, you can't breathe in here. I'm gonna seal Daniel Bryan's fate. Blah 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 blah. You know. Basic Kane promo bullshit. Of course, he's still shirtless, maskless, and wearing like slacks. So he's intimidation levels like non-fucking existent. I said it on Twitter, but Daniel Bryan not only needed to win this match, but he needed to annihilate Kane. He needed to put a definitive end to this feud. They're not going to, but if they were going to give Daniel Bryan a chance to main event Mania again, or at least give him something, like either way, he really needed to like kill Kane here. Like the finish for this match, like he's standing on top of Daniel Bryan wins, like he puts him in he throws him in the. After a real good back and forth, like he finally throws him in the casket, closes him up, and he's standing on top of the casket going, yes, yes, doing that thing. The finish I would have done for him was Daniel Bryan putting Kane in the yes lock and making Kane struggle to break free somehow, like trying to really trying to like Kane's just wore out, like there's, like Daniel Bryan would just like beat the hell out of him because, you know, he'd have to like chop down like that big, basically chop down the big redwood, bring him to his knees, like try and beat up Kane, like work the knees or like the leg or something, because that's what you're gonna go for with like the finish, or like work this head or skull or whatever, like really really punish Kane. Like Kane would go for that too, but Daniel Bryan would just like roar back and throw in like chairs or whatever and whatnot for this match. You know, he'd put that yes lock on Kane and not let go. It's a casket match. Kane's not going to lose by tapping, which he's going to do when he can't break free, thus selling the move. And in turn, Daniel Bryan's not going to be disqualified for keeping the move on after the referee can't do shit. It's a casket match. The only way to win is you throw him in the motherfucker. Kane would somehow try and like strength way out or go for like a rope break or something like that, if that's still a thing in these type of matches. I don't know if I don't know if no DQ matches, like, if there's still rope breaks or not. I forget if that's still a thing, like, always, no matter what. But, like, see Daniel Bryan just, like, go for the move again. Can be like, fuck this, I'm out. He lives to fight for another fucking day. Rolls himself as fast as humanly possible in that fucking casket and just, like, shut the lid. He just, like, close the lid on himself. That would be someone look strong, you know, you going over that behemoth, like, Kane would. But then again, you'd be like killing Kane stock for like whatever. But then you'd probably have to like bring him back as the monster or something like that, or go into like, or maybe turn him face or something, like a face turn for him, like going up to the authority. It's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like you have problems with Sting? Like he's only here like maybe once a while. This dude almost fucking like ended my career. And you told me, like, you fucking told me to go out there and go out. And Stephanie's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I didn't say that. Like, you know, like being like, two-faced and shit, you know? You could sell that too. But yeah, I'm hearing Daniel Bryan's facing someone else at Mania. I'm not going to say who, because they might change it because of the dirt sheet or whatever. I still believe in kayfabe and not, like, I was looking up whatchamacallits on here trying to figure out what to write down, and I kind of got spoiled. But I heard someone else, he's facing somebody else. It's not going to be the main event, but, man. That's going to do it for me. I'm surprised this doesn't go over an hour and a half. At least close to, on its own. Maybe that's why I need the filter. Once again, even if you had this going on in the background, or you could just listen to it while you're like gaming or whatever, like I do for like Two Best Friends podcast or something like that. Thank you very, very much. I'm sorry it took me till today to finish this, but again, thank you very much for watching, listening, and I really hope you enjoyed. Take care. Stay warm, hopefully, wherever you are.